I don't need to read the news to tell good old American citizens who deal with this every single day. Like, you don't need an expert to be like, did you know your prices have gone up? You're like, yeah, I was at the grocery store the other day. I couldn't afford anything. So I'll just throw it to our good friend, Donald Trump, who posted this. Since Biden took office, airfare is up 33%. Then we have more. Since Biden took office, gasoline up 48%. We got more? Yeah. Since Biden took office, groceries are up 21%. And then we have this. Since Biden took office, rent is up 21%. Take a look at this tweet. Trump posted this on Truth Social. Inflation at the same point in Trump presidency. Under Biden, energy is up 38.8. Gasoline is up 47.8. Electricity is 29%. Natural gas is 26%. Groceries 21%. Eggs are up 49.3. Fine, I won't exaggerate. Milk's 15. Chicken's 23. Yo, this is crazy. Airfare's up 32. Public transit's 22%. Used cars 20%. Apparel is 13.5%. Well, that's Bidenomics.
Hey, first thing I think is like, that's just a picture. Is it? I mean, and not that you have the answer, but is this like true? Is this documented somewhere? Where did the data come from?
Fair point.
And the second thing is, and a little bit of a side comment is, I don't really personally blame either of these guys for the economy right now. I feel like this has been a spiraling ball of goo, and it's just been getting stickier and stickier. And it's like inevitably they've been telling me, every trillion you add on is going to make it a little bit harder to go backwards.
Take a look at this response someone posted. Calling, they said, now do corporate price gouging. It is absolutely insane that people are falling for that Biden narrative where he's like, it's because the corporations are charging more for their products. Come on, man.
It's someone else's fault. It's not mine.
I love how the media is always surprised by this thing. Like every time the jobs report comes out every month, the media always says surprisingly low or surprisingly high. These guys are economists. They are constantly taken by surprise by what they're supposed to be experts at. It happens all the time.
Yeah, everybody knows economists are basically astrologists.
Right.
They just sit down, look at charts, and then they put on their wizard caps and they go, woo, and then it's completely shocking to them when the report comes out.
I like when the Biden admin is like, actually things are good, and the American consumers are like, is it because we're suffering?
So
they're like, no, it's fine, you're wrong.
It's let them eat cake.
Yeah, seriously.
The Biden thing that what they have to rely on is they have to try to convince people that what the people are living through and experiencing and seeing in their own daily lives is not actually happening. In fact, the opposite is true. What you experience every day in your own life, that's not really happening. And they've been trying to convince people for like the last 2 months that no, in fact, the economy is awesome. You have Paul Krugman in the New York Times talking about how the war against inflation is over. He declared victory. It's over, and at very little cost. And then, of course, this happens. Inflation is
I
higher.
do not feel like the Biden administration has conquered inflation.
No,
like
they have
really
obviously have not.
war.
And so in the media, they're always like that. John Harwood, who's a retired NBC, CNN guy, not retired, fired is more accurate. He sits around and says, the Biden's just not getting credit for how excellent the economy is. And the economy is actually awesome. It's just Americans don't know it. And then this news comes out and they are forced to report that inflation is still out of control. And then they have to say, well, this was actually surprising.
Do you think that it's surprising people because they're subsidizing gasoline and keeping prices of gasoline down?
Well, you mean the gasoline would be even higher than it already
like
is?
8, 9, 13. Yeah, it'd be like $12 a gallon.
The gas should be way higher. Joe Biden drained the Strategic Petroleum Reserve so that he could artificially lower the price by dumping supply. And then when he was supposed to restock our emergency supply, which is for war and other emergencies, he went, nah. Because it would have driven prices up and would have been substantially worse than it is now.